Today I'm going to be reading your fortunes. Open your palms. I'm kidding. I just feel like a gypsy like this, but I'm comfortable, so let's go. I'll just start off this video with a little dog love. Howdy y'all, my name is Gretchen and I'm the Restless Thrifter. I am a reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, and I'm going to be talking to you about my sales on those three platforms, February 19th. Why can't I say that word? February 19th through 25th. I'm going to try to do this without too many takes. We're going to leave that. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I've been struggling with my health for a while, but I keep on going, and you know, my sales definitely went down this week, but I still sold some cool things that I want to share with you. Reacher, what are you doing? This is Reacher. He's a German Shepherd. You can see one ear. I've got treats over here, so they think that they need to come harass me. Anyhow, a little bit about me. I live in Denver, Colorado. I have 2 dogs and a husband, and I am trying to resell full-time despite my current illness. So let me tell you what sold. I share 3 categories with you. Top 10 sales by profit. So that's everything after fees and shipping expenses and cost of goods, as well as fast flips, anything that sold within 14 days. And some lessons learned. I just pick a couple of items that I talk about what I learned through selling these items. I use a platform called Vendoo to cross-list everything to all 3 of those platforms. And I also use it for the analytics. So I have the analytics pulled up right now for February 19th through 25th. I sold 41 items that week and I listed 25. So normally my number of items listed and my number of items sold are going to be closer together, but I haven't been able to list as many things, and so it's obvious what's going on here. I'm also selling fewer things. My average sales price was $28.91, so that's gone down as well. That went down 10% from the week prior. My number of sold items went down 15% from the week prior. I did have a sale every day that week. I sold 14 things on eBay, 22 on Poshmark, and 5 on Mercari. So Poshmark is usually second, but it was the highest this particular week because I was sending out a ton of offers. I increased my Posher VA to send out 25% off, but I also turned it off a couple of days and used closet clear out to get some purchases, as well as just sending a lot of 25 and 30% off offers. I realize I'm not making as much money per item that way, but it is a way to keep sales going when you can't list new items. The best way to get sales going is to list new items. By far, the best way is to do that. On average, my 41 items took 104 days to sell. So that's from the time that I first listed them to the day they sold is 104 days on average. That's about where I want it. A little less would be better, but that's okay. It means I'm selling some new things, I'm selling some old things. It's a good mix, but it's not, things aren't staying in my house for years. My average price sold is $28.91. My average cost of goods for these items was $4.23, and my average profit per item was $15.78. If y'all recall, I had gotten up to $20 per item, profit per item, and that was great. So it is declining, but that's because I'm sending some fantastic deals to make sales. Okay, let's dive in. First in the top 10 in reverse order is this Holding Horses size 4 dress, atoll, chambray, midi, corset, fit and flare. Atoll, I don't know how you say that, but anyway, it was part of the style name of the item. This was something that was sold at Anthropologie. It took 131 days to sell on eBay, sold through a customer offer of $32. I had it listed at $38 and it sold 4 days after relisting. If you can hear the whining in the background, that's Reacher who wants outside. Price sold was $40.30. Cost of goods was $8.69. And my profit was $18.07. I got this at a local Goodwill. And let me tell you, this item almost got lost in the mail. There were actually 9 sales that I had set out for package pickup one morning, as I have been, because I just can't make it to the post office right now. And it's not been an issue. I do live on a busy corner, and so I'm a little worried about people stealing my packages, especially because it happened to me a couple years ago. But now we have a security camera, and I think it deters some folks. Before we did not. The postman came and scanned the items. This was a really cold day. And my normal guy was not the guy. I'm watching her through my camera, right? And she's fumbling around and she's dropping her hand warmers and her gloves. And she's like trying to figure out what she's supposed to pick up. And she just seemed new. And I was like, well, she's at least new to my route. So maybe she's just filling in and maybe she's not used to package pickup. I don't know. But she got everything. I heard her beeping and scanning. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, about an hour later, I get a knock at the door, a boom, 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 boom. Kind of like, police, open up. And it kind of was. It was a federal agent. It was a postal inspector. He had a badge. It was like this big. It was like this tiny, tiny little badge. And he had a card and gave me his card. And my dogs are going nuts and Reacher's trying to kill him. And he wasn't scared, fortunately, because Reacher got out and was like, roar, 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 jumping up on him. I ran back inside, put some shoes on, came out because I was like, okay, this is something's going on. Well, the postal van was right on the caddy corner from my house. And it had been there for an hour. I was like, that's unusual. I had noticed it. And he said that the van got broken into and someone stole a bunch of mail. And I'm like, great. I wonder if my packages got stolen. Because let me back up a little bit. I had already gotten one message from a buyer saying, hey, it shows, I don't know what address you sent this dress to, but it shows that it was delivered somewhere in Denver and I live in California and I need you to send it to the correct address. And then that's when I realized that all 9 packages had been scanned as if they were delivered to my house and not as if they were taken from my house. So I didn't know how to correct that issue, but I let him know because he was buying this as a gift. I let him know. I was like, no, it really wasn't delivered. That's my address that they're saying it was delivered to. It was picked up from it. And hopefully it'll start scanning on its way and you'll be able to see it making its way to you. But eBay and Poshmark and Mercari had all notified everybody saying, hey, your package is delivered. And they could see on the tracking that it was delivered to Denver, which is not where they lived. And so I contacted everybody. One person had already sent in a request to cancel the order. I'm like, I can't cancel it because I've already sent it. And I had to tell each of them, wait to see the tracking update, wait to see the tracking update. Well, meanwhile, here comes the postal inspector knocking on my door, and he says that this van has been broken into and stolen, and I was like, he seemed a little suspicious of the whole thing, like it's pretty brazen right there in the corner in the middle of daylight. And I said, yeah. I said, she seemed new, and he said, yeah, she is. So I don't know if this is her first day and her van gets broken into, but what the luck, right? And so I told him, I said, well, I had some packages going out and they are scanning incorrectly. And so I don't know if that was related or just something she did wrong. And he asked for the tracking numbers. I emailed them to him. I never heard back. But my packages all made it. So that's a long story to say the package made it. If this ever happens to you and it gets scanned as if it's being delivered to you, I still don't know how to correct that. And it's still going to show delivered to the buyer. But when you click on the tracking, it'll show all the steps, of where it's going. And so you'll see that it's, and hopefully they're okay with it. Several people asked me for a new tracking number. I couldn't do that. Some said, when is it going to not say delivered? I couldn't do anything about that. everything eventually made it there. So my packages were not stolen. It seemed like it was just a bunch of lettered mail. So I don't know what they were looking for. It's like, who gets their IRS and Social Security checks anymore, right? They're auto deposited. Anyhow, that's the first item. Long story. I always seem to take a long time on the first item I tell you about. Next item is a Fruit of the Loom, size medium, 38 to 40, package of 6, tag-free A shirts, tank top ribbed. Those tank tops are called A shirts. I think we all call them a derogatory name, but that's what they're called. These sold in 16 days on eBay. I did not source these, not with my eyeballs. I got them through a Goodwill Blue Box. They're having a special, buy two, get one free. And so I've done that now twice. You can go watch my videos. This is in lieu of me sourcing in person. I don't recommend only sourcing through these types of mystery boxes unless you just can't get out to source, because that's my deal. It's always better to do your own sourcing with your own information, looking up comps and picking up things that you know are going to sell. I say it's always better. To me, it works better. But in this case, this was great because I would not have thought to look these up. But I will now. So they sold in 16 days on eBay. It was a full price sale. Sold through promoted listings though. It sold for $46.97. My cost of goods on average per item in those boxes was $1.97. So my profit was $23.53. And I will link both of those videos below. The first box is already paid for itself. All right, next item is a Brooks women's size 10 wide running shoes, Adrenaline GTS 19 gray lavender mesh. This is a pair of my shoes. They sold in 49 days on Poshmark, and this was just a personal pair of shoes of mine. I need to wear stability shoes because I have bad feet, and these were really comfortable, but I found that I was always wearing my Hokas. Once I got Hokas, I was just always wearing those. And so these got very little wear, and they were in great condition. The insoles were like new because I never used them. I put my own insoles in, and then when I was ready to sell them, I swapped them back out with the originals. And they sold in a bundle to a really nice lady who had messaged me with questions that we usually all hate getting, like how many people have owned these shoes? How often have they been worn? Are there any flaws? I know we hate to get those questions because normally I'm like, I don't know how many people have owned these. I don't know how much they've been worn, but these were my personal shoes. So I could tell her honestly that they were worn just, a handful of times. There's no flaws. I just had some other shoes that I liked better. And so I'm selling the excess, things I don't wear. And she bundled them up with this cute fox and the Hound with a long boa tail. And I sent her an offer. Worked out. They sold for $30. My cost of goods was $0 since it was my item, and my profit was $25.60. Here we have a Poetry size US 12 midi swing dress, pockets, merino wool, mixed media plaid check. This sold in 14 days on eBay. Customer offered me $50. I had it listed at $75, but I like a quick sale. $50 still a good flip. It did sell through promoted listings. Price sold was $58.30. My cost of goods is $8.69, and so my profit was $27.40. Poetry is becoming one of my favorite brands to find. I've only sold and found 3 items, and all 3 items have sold pretty quickly. I take it to be kind of a log and look, however you say it, brand. Not truly, but a little bit like that. And the materials are usually pretty nice. The cut is usually kind of flowy. And I just thought this was a really cute dress. I picked this up on the rare occasion that I've been able to get out and go thrift. I just knew I needed to pick up some higher sell-through rate items, and this was one of them. Next sale was another one of those items that I had picked up recently. It was a Lululemon size medium, keep the heat top, thermal, long sleeves, thumb hole wool blend. I hardly ever find Lululemon. This was on a new rack that had come out. It sold in 25 days on Poshmark through a closet clear out price drop. So I turned off Posher VA, which I use. It's a Chrome extension that sends out offers on my behalf to likers. And so I turned that off one day and I just started dropping prices in my closet to see what would sell. This sold for $44. I had paid $7.61 and my profit was $27.59. If you sell on Poshmark, you probably know there's closet clear out. I don't know if it's the same day as everyone. Mine's Friday and Sunday. And so on those days, if I drop my prices by 10% or more, they will get an offer if they've liked an item, and Poshmark picks up the discount in the shipping, which is lovely. I gotta say, I don't usually get many sales through that, but this was one. It was good. Probably helped that it was still a fairly new item, that it was Lululemon. That factor probably helped as well. I got it at a local Goodwill. Next item is a vintage John Deere farm trucker hat, cap, snapback, corduroy, Louisville, MFG black. This sold in 10 days on eBay. I actually sold 2 John Deere hats this week, but it's because I listed 2 John Deere hats this week. Sold on eBay through a customer offer of $38. I had it listed at $50. I really wasn't sure of the value. And the price sold with shipping was $44.78. I had paid about $5, oh no, exactly $5 at an estate sale, and my profit was $29.56. This I picked up because I have a friend, Janice, hi Janice, that sells John Deere stuff quite regularly. She picks up the hats for sure, and so when I was at an estate sale, I was bringing my stuff up to the register, and I saw this hat laying on a couch. I guess somebody threw it back or something. I don't know. Maybe they were going to buy it, but I picked it up and bought it. And glad I did. Next item, vintage 90s Nike women's size extra large 1820 windbreaker jacket, nylon, full zip pockets. I read you my titles exactly so you can see, all the keywords and the features that I call out. I usually will mention brand, size, thing. If it's vintage, I like to put that at the beginning if that's important to the item, like this. This sold in one day on Mercari through a customer offer of $50, and I had it listed at $64. Now, here was sort of a lesson learned as well. Recently, Mercari shipping prices have gone ridiculous. I mean, they were ridiculous, and now they've gone more ridiculous. They're just too high. Even for a first-class item, they're too high. So I'm starting to offer free shipping again. I used to offer free shipping on everything on Mercari, and then I went to no free shipping, and now I'm going to some free shipping, which I need to remember when I'm sending offers or accepting offers, because I forgot I had offered free shipping on this and she got a great deal. It was still a good sell for me though. It sold for, I lost my place. Sold for $50. I paid $1.06. This was at the bins. And my profit was $35.77. Obviously, if I had had that $8 in shipping cost, it would have been better, but it was still good. So now that I'm offering some free shipping on items, I've got to look at the item's shipping cost before I accept or send offers. Next item, let's see, we got 3 left. It's a Hugo Boss 46R Scorsese movie, black ghost stripe, 100% wool suit sport coat. This took 570 days to sell. This is like probably the second sport coat I ever picked up when I started picking them up. I had heard that Hugo Boss was good. It is. Don't know why this one took a while. Maybe it was the ghost stripe. It's kind of like a pinstripe, but it's sort of, I don't know how to describe it. It's the same color. So it's like black on black, but you can still see the stripe. I don't know, maybe that sells better as a suit, but this took a while. Customer offered me $65. I had it listed at $96. I don't even know why I had it listed so high still, but I accepted that, and it did sell 3 days after relisting. So it sold for $65. I had paid $6.53, and my profit was $45.47. All of that is perfectly respectable. I just wish that it hadn't taken so long. Next to last item. Okay, this one I was so worried about getting lost. Oh my gosh. Let me check if they ever made it there. Oh, they did. I got a good review. That's right. I don't think this is one of the 9 packages, but it might have been, or it might have been a different shipping issue. These may be the reason why I'm not offering FedEx anymore. So FedEx, I mean, it doesn't seem to matter whether I drop it off at Walgreens where the FedEx Smart Post Pickup is, or at the post office that allows me to drop them off there. Sometimes it never starts tracking and it just freaks me out. So let me go back. Where was I? So, Helly Hansen, size extra small, Bellissimo ski pants, insulated stretch pockets, slim fit. Sold in 3 days on Poshmark through a customer offer of $70. I had these listed at $99 because they retail for $280 and they have a great sell-through rate. But I took the $70, thought that was still fair, and I loved the quick flip. I had paid $9.78 and my profit was $46.22. Got to take a risk on those extra small sometimes. I know some people will never pick them up. And my best sale of the week has not been returned to me yet, but I am worried because cowboy boots are a risk. Larry Mahan, men's size 9.5 XE, cowboy boots, vintage, full quill, ostrich, Western Nakona. These sold in 96 days on eBay, full price sale, and sold through promoted listings. So let me talk about promoted listings because I've mentioned that a few times now. Promoted listings on eBay is when you pay an additional fee, it's a percentage of your sale, in order to have your items show up higher in the search results. They show up as advertising. And I promote everything after 7 days. After 7 days of being listed on eBay, I'll add it to my campaign. And this is one of them. So my fees were a little bit higher. This sold for $162.01 with shipping. My cost of goods was $27.06. I will pay up for boots. Look them up. It can be risky. I have been experimenting with this. I don't really know what I'm doing, but so far it's working out okay. And my profit was $98.93. In the listing, I mentioned that these are very broken in. They're vintage and they've been worn a lot. And I show great pictures of what everything looks like, but these are a broken in pair of boots. Okay, so that's everything in my top 10 sales. Next, we have fast flips. I have 3. There were 4 fast flips in the top 10, which is pretty good. Shows that I was able to list some things. And then there were 3 others. And the first one is another John Deere. It's John Deere CYRK. Don't know. It was, I guess, the brand. Baseball hat, construction equipment steel, distressed adjustable. I say distressed because it was faded, it was clean, but it was faded and there's this part that looks like steel on it that had a little bit of the paint chipped away. Sold in 11 days on Mercari through a customer offer of $18. I had this one listed for $24. My cost of goods was $5. I'm putting an estimated $5 because I don't know where I got that one. I forgot to write that down. And my profit was $10.18. Next fast flip is AE American Eagle, size 18 short, jeans, high-rise artist flare leg, high waist black. Sold in 4 days on Poshmark through a Posher VA offer with discounted shipping. So this is when I had Posher VA set to automatically send offers, and it was probably sending 25% off at that time. And the price sold was $22. I had paid $1.40. This was at the Goodwill bins. That was my average cost of goods that day, and my profit was $14.48. I like to sell American Eagle jeans. I like to sell the flare and the larger sizes. I also like to sell the specialty lengths, like long and short. So what I don't particularly like to sell in American Eagle jeans is the tiny sizes. They just take longer, and I don't get as much money usually. All right, my last fast flip is this Passport Accessories purple fringe scarf, lightweight, boho, bohemian, artsy spring. Y'all, I don't think you should go pick up all scarves and try to sell them. This sold in 1 day on eBay, but I think it was just kind of a fluke. It was a really pretty scarf, and I think I listed it at the time somebody was looking for a pretty scarf. I listed it for 12. A customer sent me an offer of 10. With shipping, it sold for $14.24. My cost of goods, this came from the Goodwill Blue Box. So my cost of goods was $1.97 and my profit was $5.87. Okay, lessons learned. I have 2. And they both have to do with brand. So the first one is this Caslon size small sweater, linen blend, melange. I don't really know what that word means. Knit, gray, exposed zip back. I got this for about $2 at the bins 683 days ago is when I listed it. Sold on eBay. A customer accepted my offer that I had sent of $12.88. And I sent it with a note saying, because I had at the time, anything more than 15 days old was on sale on eBay for 30% off. And I would send a little bit more of an offer with a little bit more of a discount saying that I'm sending them additional discount off my 30% off sale, right? This was my longest tail item in this week. So with shipping, it was $19.48. I had paid $2, and so my profit was $8.08. This brand, Caslon, never sells quickly for me. I think it's a Nordstrom Rack brand. I think it's pretty inexpensive for Nordstrom Rack too. And I don't think it's the highest quality. I've bought some of the, some for myself because they do carry larger sizes, and I've always been disappointed in how things wash and wear, and I end up donating them after a couple of washes. So I'm gonna stay away from Caslon. I really am. It's gotta be like something amazing, super special. And I don't even know how to define that. Like if it's cashmere and it's new with tags, if it's, you know, embroidered all over like Johnny was, I mean, it's going to have to be something that somebody's going to go, wow, I love that. And they're not going to care what brand it is. The next item is something I lost money on. It's the Barrington Collection, Bernadette Angel Bear, Sparkle Wings, Harp, Halo, 10-inch, 1076. 1076 was the number on the tag. I guess each of the types of bears are numbered. Sold in 205 days on Poshmark through a customer offer of 7. I had it listed for 9, and it did sell 1 week after relisting. My cost of goods was $4.25. I got this at Denton Thrift in Texas. I don't know what I was thinking spending $4 on this stuffed animal. I lost 20 cents. So, the Barrington collection, the Barrington Bears, I got to stop picking those guys up. Those and Boyd's, gotta stop picking them up. If I pick it up, I need to look it up, and it needs to sell well. And I swear, I think I looked this up, and this is the case if it was good in the store. It wasn't good when I got home. I gotta stop picking them up. So that's my lessons learned. That is everything I wanted to share for the week of February 19th through 25th. I'm gonna take a quick break and then why am I getting notifications? I have it on Do Not Disturb. What was I saying? I'm going to take a quick break and then probably record the week of, what am I looking for? February 26th through March 4th and tell you about February as a whole. If you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up on this if you enjoyed this, learned anything new about a brand or something. And subscribe if you're not already. Click that notifications bell so you'll know when I post something new. I am super fidgety. They call me the Restless Thrifter for a reason. Just keep listing. The top 10 sales by profit. So that's everything after. God damn it. Is anybody else thirsty? Let me get a drink too.